Hey, Joe from Finsweet here. In this video, I walk you through Cal Invite for Webflow. In this video, we learn how to structure our data on the page so we can create dynamic calendar invites with Webflow CMS. We'll be looking at Webflow CMS, the setup, the structure of our collection. We'll be looking at this code, and we will be understanding the core structures and core concepts around this library. Understanding this is going to give us a lot easier of a time in the next video when we go to implement. Understanding the core concepts is really important here, so let's just go over those. This is the code that we're working with, and it is exactly the same on a template page or a dynamic list. We are going to be using our library, and that library is going to give us the ability to only edit this code right here. We'll be updating these classes with the classes from our site so that we can create an event title, create an event start date, create an event end date, create an event time zone. We look for these classes inside the item. We're going to convert it to text, and that text is going to be populated here in this script, and then that's what we use to generate the invite. I'd like you to think of a Google invite or any calendar platform invite as a direct link to your Webflow CMS fields. Webflow CMS has a name, has a date field, has rich text, has URL. We can line all of those up here. We have our CMS field of name. We have our CMS field of start date with time. We have our end with time. We have a URL so the user can get to our event. We have a description, and all of those are fields inside Webflow CMS. So we put that field in Webflow CMS, we fill it in, and that information is going to then populate a calendar invite. That is how this works. So let's jump into our collection. Let's look at how this is set up and just confirm that everything we said is done. We have our events we are going over right now. And first, let's go and look at this structure. We have our name. That's going to be serving as our title of the event. We have our start date with time. If you want time in your calendar invite, you must select time. If you don't want time, then you do not need to select it. Okay, we have our end date. We have time zone. We have two descriptions here. We'll only be using one for the calendar invite. We have location. We have this set as text, which we can also use as a URL or as plain text if there is no URL. We have an image that is not related to the calendar invite, and we have an RSVP link, which is not related to the calendar invite either. So we can have a mix of calendar invite information and visible page information that we just want to show on the live site. There we go. That's how it's set up. And if I go to this terrible event, you'll see that we have a start time, an end time. We have a time zone, which does need a certain format. We'll go over that later. We have a description. We have the location, and that is going to go and populate our event for us. So in the next video, we'll be going over walkthroughs in a template page and in a dynamic list to see how we can populate these two events in both of those formats. Excellent. That's the CMS setup. What else do we need to go over in this video? I'm excited to get to the next step here. Let's go and implement this. We'll see how to copy paste this code, actually go and create it on a dynamic list and a template. Let's jump in. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Check out more Finsweet videos to keep learning Webflow.